Ampharos standing tall in that black and yellow, and this Jellicent about to turn into some jello. What is going on, everyone? Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, and if you're a returning subscriber like Ashton Ton, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at some battles in the Open Ultra League with a team consisting of Giratina Altered, Walrein, and Ampharos. Using this team, we were able to climb from 2700 back over 2850, and for this video, we will be analyzing my first two sets using this team. Giratina in the lead plus Walrein is going to leave us very vulnerable to a Pokemon like Scrafty or Obstagoon. For that reason, we will be running Dragon Breath on Giratina Altered instead. Running Dragon Breath is actually going to help flip the Obstagoon and Scrafty matchups for Giratina, which helps to eliminate the double weakness when being paired with Walrein. Of course, running Dragon Breath also means that some matchups will become worse. Being locked in against a Charmer without Shadow Claw means we are dealing practically no damage whatsoever. Jellicent and Cresselia also become significantly worse, and Registeel will also prefer going up against the Dragon Breath variant. Overall, I did enjoy the synergy with these three Pokemon, and for the most part, it worked very well. If you enjoyed this type of content, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. It really helps the channel grow. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. So despite running spicier teams for the majority of this season, today's video is going to be featuring a much more meta team. The only real anti-meta pick on this team is going to be Ampharos, and it actually performs as a very solid core breaker for the Open Ultra League meta, defeating a lot of popular XL picks such as Mandibuzz, Jellicent, and Talonflame. This of course is a league that is dominated by XL Pokemon, so running a triple non-XL team is not going to be easy. I did find that most leads were playable, however the ones that did tend to give me the most problems in the lead were Alolan Ninetales and Cresselia. Jumping into this first battle, we have Giratina Altered into Alolan Muk. This is generally a very bad lead for Giratina. However, with Dragon Breath, this is actually a winnable matchup in some situations, especially if they are running Poison Jab instead of Snarl as the fast move. Generally, against Muk, I like to no-shield the first move in case they go for the Acid Spray bait. Once the opponent does use one of their own shields, we are also going to match shields here, knowing that Giratina Altered with Dragon Breath could actually win this matchup in the one shield and take switch advantage. So that is definitely one of the benefits to running Dragon Breath on Giratina Altered. A lot of the Pokemon that will typically counter the Shadow Claw variant are going to lose to the Dragon Breath variant. The opponent comes in with a Tapu Fini. We are going to swap out into Walrein, allow this first move from the Tapu Fini to go through. The opponent is also going to no-shield this Earthquake and then swap out into a Pokemon that is trying to layeth the smackdown. But just like the Rock, this Aggron's leaving to Hollywood and never coming back. Tapu Fini comes back in, and Ampharos about to add an SH to the end of its name. That's a Tapu finish. They don't want the smoke. 1-0. Let's hop into battle number 2. So jumping into this next battle, we are going to be leading Dragon Breath Giratina, this time into a shiny Nidoqueen. This is obviously a very solid matchup here for the Giratina, going to build up to the Dragon Claw, expecting the opponent to swap out at some point. Nidoqueen could be looking to bank this energy and swap out after the Dragon Claw, also go for the Poison Fang to lower our defense, or even go for the Stone Edge. They now swap out into the Obstagoon. We are going to throw a Dragon Claw and then swap out into the Ampharos. Ampharos does have a pretty good matchup here against the Obstagoon, should be able to reach 2 Thunder Punches, which will be enough to take out the Obstagoon and maintain switch advantage without having to invest one of our own shields. After allowing that Thunder Punch to go through, we should be able to survive this Night Slash. However, the opponent does get the boost, and at this point they may be tempted to shield this Thunder Punch and play for switch advantage. We still have Walrein in the back, so that Nidoqueen really has nowhere to hide. Of course, with that boost, we are going to shield up this Night Slash, and the opponent actually gets a second boost. Thankfully, it's not of much use, but they do have a Scrafty in the back, which is going to be problematic for this Walrein. So just trying to do as much chip damage as possible here with the the Giratina, really hoping this is a foul play so we do shield up. This Dragon Breath damage is absolutely adding up here on the Scrafty. Going for another Dragon Claw. They are going to reach the final foul play. At this point, Walrein should be able to take it out with an Icicle Spear. Opponent is going to look to bank this foul play and swap out into the Nidoqueen. This Icicle Spear will not be enough to KO, but able to take it out with Powder Snow before reaching another move. No Poison Fang means we do survive this foul play very comfortably, and here comes the Icicle Spear to finish off this match. Just like Edge, a lot of wrestling references thus far in this one. 2-0, let's hop into battle number 3. So jumping into the next matchup, we have Giratina into Scrafty. This looks like a very solid matchup for the opponent until they realize we are not running Shadow Claw, we are running Dragon Breath. So Giratina actually wins this matchup in all even shields. Going to throw the Dragon Claw right here. No shield this first move in case they go for the bait. They do not, and then swap out into Cofagrigus. Kind of an awkward spot for us right here because we don't really have a great answer to Cofagrigus on this team. I think I kind of panicked here, to be honest, unsure of what really to do. So I just decided to let the Giratina go down, come in with Walrein. Of course, this leaves us with no real answer for Scrafty in the back. However, I was thinking we could probably exit this matchup here with some energy on the Walrein, which could potentially put that Scrafty low enough for Ampharos to come in after and Volt Switch down. So Cofagrigus goes down, Scrafty comes back in, going to throw the Icicle Spear, and that actually forces the first shield from the opponent. At this point, we swap out into Ampharos. I was not counting the moves at this point, and they do bait us with the Power Up Punch. You hate to see it. Going for the Thunder Punch, they're going to burn their second shield, which tells me they may be very weak to Ampharos in the back. Going for another Thunder Punch, they survive with 1 HP. I am going to respect the foul play, even though they may not have been at it, and they end up having a Tapu Fini in the back. Going to throw the Thunder Punch right here. We are 1 Volt Switch short of a second. Going to now swap out into the Walrein in order to force Tapu Fini to throw all of its energy in order to take out the Walrein. This will ensure that we outpace it to the next move, and Thunder Punch is going to be enough to take out Tapu Fini. Once again, Ampharos closing out the match. 3-0, let's hop into battle number 4. So off to a pretty good start here with this team early on in these battles. Giratina into another Scrafty. As we've seen, pretty good matchup here with Dragon Breath for Giratina. Opponent is deciding to stay in for the moment. Going for the Dragon Claw right here. Opponent is going to allow that to go through. Once again, I'm going to no shield the first move. They tend to not go for the Power Up Punch bait, but it's still worth not shielding. Going to go for the Dragon Claw once again. This is not going to KO, and right here is where I make the mistake. Definitely should be no shielding right here, but I expected the foul play. They instead go for the bait, and that is pretty much how they end up winning this matchup in the 1 shields. Now the only benefit that comes out of this is Walrein will be able to Powder Snow down, and with a Scrafty in the lead, there is a higher likelihood of them not having a second hard counter for Walrein in the back. So Jellicent comes in, going to throw the Earthquake and then swap out into the Ampharos. Going to actually call the Bubble Beam bait right here, and what a call it was. Opponent now swaps out into a Talonflame, and Ampharos is in a very dangerous position for this opponent. Thunder Punch coming through, able to reach a second, hanging on with basically 1 HP right here, taking out the Talonflame, and still getting to another Thunder Punch here against this Jellicent. That is going to force the final shield, and now at this point, should be able to take this game with an Earthquake. Calling the Bubble Beam bait once again. You love to see it. Earthquake coming through. This will not be enough to take out the Jellicent because of the debuff from the Bubble Beam. At this point, Jellicent cannot reach 2 moves before the next Icicle Spear, so we will shield this up no matter what it is and finish this game off with the not very effective, but in this case effective enough, Icicle Spear for the big W. 4-0 heading into battle number 5, going for that very elusive perfect 5-0 set. We got Giratina into Como-O, so off to a positive start. Opponent swaps out into Trevenant, and right off the bat, this team is looking very weak to Walrein. Going to go for the Icicle Spear, and the opponent is going to invest into protecting their Trevenant. We are not going to shield up the first move right here. However, it is very likely that this opponent is going to try and play Force Switch advantage. So another Seed Bomb comes through. We're going to shield it up, go for another Icicle Spear, and another shield from the opponent. At this point, I'm actually looking to overfarm quite a bit here against the Trevenant, but the opponent swaps out into a Nidoqueen. Triple weak to Walrein. You have to respect the spice. Going to bank an Icicle Spear and then swap out into the Giratina Altered. This is a very dominant matchup right here. Looking to Dragon Breath all the way down. Let's see if they go for the Poison Fang or the damage. They decide to go for the Earth Power. We are now at a move ready to go. Como-O comes back in, going to throw the Dragon Claw right here. Let's see if they can take us out before another Dragon Claw. Once again, another catch, this time onto the Trevenant. They are going to survive. We'll come in with the Walrein, able to Powder Snow down, but we do lose CMP tie here against the Como-O. Ampharos does not do well against Jangmo-O, but it's very low, and I got a hunch that this Thunder Punch is going to lead to a very tiny bang. There it is. Set number 1 in the books, and it's going to be recorded as a 5-0. That made me feel like this team had potential, so of course we're going to run it back for a second set of battles. I do believe this set had a lot of matchups in our favor, so let's see how this team performs in set number 2 right now. So obviously there are going to be a couple of Pokemon which are core breakers for this team. Registeel, Galarian Stunfisk, 2 difficult Pokemon to deal with, especially with a Dragon Breath variant of Giratina. Didn't see any of them in the first set of battles. Let's see if we see them in set number 2. Jellicent here in the lead. This is one of the more common leads I have seen in the Ultra League, especially in the 2700, 2800 ELO range. Opponent going for the Shadow Ball right here. We let that go through. Go for the Shadow Sneak, and they now swap out into Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is definitely one of the biggest core breakers to this team, I find. We are going to shield up this Weather Ball right here. Definitely could survive, but wasn't sure if they were going to allow this to go through. Bang! Yes, they do. Zap Cannon taking them out, but they have a Scrafty in the back, and this game is looking pretty rough at this point. Going to reach another Thunder Punch right here, and they actually are going to allow this to go through, which puts us in a somewhat playable spot, or so we thought. Niantic had other plans for us. We get hit with that game crash. Bang! There it goes. Forced to come back in. This Scrafty is going absolutely off on this Walrein, trying to perform its best impression of a 28-run beatdown from the Blue Jays on the Red Sox. Giratina, goodbye. Walrein comes in. This game is absolutely over. Now granted, we probably would have lost this matchup anyways, but I would at least have liked the opportunity to play it out and lose it on my own terms instead of on the game crashing terms. 0-1, that is the end of the win streak. Let's hop into battle number 2. So for this battle, we are going to be leading Giratina Altered into a Shadow Machamp. This is a very solid matchup here for Giratina, and the opponent swaps out into a Shadow Snorlax, which puts us in a pretty weird spot. We kind of need Giratina for that Shadow Machamp. However, Giratina also has a pretty good matchup here against a Shadow Snorlax, unless it is running Earthquake or Outrage. This one looks like it's running Body Slam plus Superpower. I was considering swapping out into Walrein at this point. However, I did not want to have the switch timers desynced, let that Machamp come in and pretty much go to town on the Walrein. So in the end, I did decide to stay in, and they end up having a Registeel, which is actually quite problematic for our remaining 2 Pokemon. However, I think we did catch a massive break right here from the opponents not throwing a move at the Ampharos. The main reason for this is that we now have a massive energy lead on this Machamp, and we will be able to reach 3 Thunder Punches, force a shield from the opponent, and actually take out this Machamp while preserving both of our shields still for the Walrein to go up against that Registeel. Now Registeel is going to get a bit of farm here on the Ampharos, however they cannot store back-to-back moves, and we still have the Giratina available as well in order to reset a potential debuff here from the Zap Cannon or even as a potential third shield. Now something to note, Walrein from this HP range could actually tank a Zap Cannon or a Focus Blast. However, as you could see, this opponent is running Flash Cannon. So that's not going to KO, but it does cost less energy, and this game is coming down to the wire. Registeel very likely now to go for the Zap Cannon. Our attack has been lowered by 2 stages. Could have decided to swap out and reset the debuff, but just went for the Earthquake instead. Going to farm up a bit of energy before swapping out into Giratina. Since the opponent cannot bank 2 moves, this game is over. They back out 1-1. Let's hop into battle number 3. So jumping into this next battle, we are leading Giratina into another Jellicent. When running Shadow Claw, this is a winning matchup. However, with Dragon Breath, you could see right here, it is a pretty dominant win for the Jellicent. Going to tank this first move right here. It is a Shadow Ball, building up past the Shadow Sneak. Going to throw this move right here, and the opponent usually does not shield, but in this case, they do. We now swap out into the Walrein, hopefully to catch a Bubble Beam that is going to lower the attack, but they come in with Deoxys anyways, so it really doesn't matter if our attack was lowered or not, because this is pretty much hard counter city, and I am looking like the mayor of this city right now. Rock Slide comes through, going to try and build up to an Earthquake right here. 2 Icicle Spears I guess would do more damage, but in case it was a CMP tie, just wanted to guarantee that we got off the heavier hitting move. Giratina now comes back in, going to go for this CMP tie Dragon Claw, and right here the only reason I decide to shield is in order to have a Pokemon available to reset the debuff on this Ampharos. And as you can see, Ampharos was one Pokemon the opponent did not want to see. ABA weak to electric. Here comes that Zap Cannon. Bang! There it is. Ampharos standing tall in that black and yellow, and this Jellicent about to turn into some jello. By shielding here, no matter which move it is, we should guarantee that we outpace to a double Thunder Punch before Jellicent gets to a second move. They decide to preserve their shield for the Deoxys, which means Giratina is coming in, and at this point we are not going to throw any charge moves, just going for straight raw damage. Ampharos cleaning up the trash, and after that game crash, we are 2-1 in this set. Jumping into this next battle looking to clinch the positive set, but unfortunately there is a wall looking to rain on our parade. Whenever you encounter a Walrein lead with this team, the only response is to swap out into your own Walrein. The opponent responds with a Cresselia. This is a pretty hard counter to Walrein, however if they are not running Grass Knot, it could be a somewhat playable matchup. Going to no shield this first move coming from Cresselia. There really is no reason to invest a shield in a losing matchup. However, when they go for Moonblast, it tells us that they are likely running Moonblast plus Future Sight. So we are going to no shield once again. They go for the Future Sight. Here comes the Icicle Spear. This is not going to be enough to take them out, but they are going to swap out into Walrein, probably trying to catch that Icicle Spear. Instead, they're going to catch this Ampharos coming straight with a Thunder Punch. Now, while this does seem like a great matchup here for Ampharos, Walrein having access to Earthquake does put us at risk of being one-shot, so we are going to respect the Earthquake right there. Do get baited the first time, going for the Thunder Punch. When the opponent shields, this second one is very likely an Earthquake. We could safely shield here and commit to the Volt Switch down. At this point, we are at a shield disadvantage, and the opponent comes in with a Giratina altered. Did throw the Thunder Punch in case they came in with Cresselia for the CMP tie. Instead, they bring in Giratina. We swap out to Walrein, going for the Icicle Spear. That's going to force the final shield. We come in with our own Giratina, and the opponent swaps out into Cresselia with that Moonblast stored from earlier. Very well played from the opponent, but unfortunately, they also get the attack drop. And to make matters worse, they are able to take out our own Giratina before we could reach a single Dragon Claw. That puts us in a position where only a Dragon Pulse from Ampharos could save the day, but unfortunately, it is not Mareep Community Day. Going to be able to reach this Zap Cannon, but is it going to be enough? We just fall short. If not for that attack drop on the Moonblast, Giratina would have been taken out. Instead it stays alive. Let's hop into battle number 5. So jumping into this final battle, we have Giratina into Tapu Fini. Gonna disappear from here like Houdini. Horrible matchup with Dragon Breath. We come in with Walrein, and the opponent swaps out into Talonflame. This is actually a matchup where Walrein could potentially take switch advantage, so you know we are going to be playing for that. Try to get the Ampharos aligned onto the Tapu Fini. Opponent actually going for the Brave Bird. That is going to lower the defense, and after a couple of Icicle Spears, they actually give up switch. Even better, we are able to reach an Earthquake here against the Tapu Fini before they water gun us all the way down. We are now going to come in with the Ampharos. Do not need to shield this move at this point. Moonblast deals big damage, and it's a Registeel in the back. This is technically not what we want to see. Registeel does have a very good matchup against Giratina, especially when we are running Dragon Breath. Shadow Sneak the only thing hitting for neutral damage at this point, and with each Zap Cannon, all of our moves are doing significantly less damage. At this point, I think our best chance of winning is preserving both of our shields for the Ampharos, so we are going to swap out once the switch timer is available. Even if this is a Zap Cannon, we have to shield it up. That's going to lower our attack. Going to build up to the Zap Cannon, but actually go for the Thunder Punch right here, because at this point, the shield pressure is definitely on the opponent. Going for another Thunder Punch right here. Opponent does not want to swap out because they are taking super effective damage on the Tapu Fini, so we are going to shield up the Zap Cannon. Looking to throw the Thunder Punch right here, and if they shield this up, our switch timer may be up and available to swap out into the Giratina. Able to hit him with that combo play. Big Mac and the fries. Tapu Fini comes back in, looking to build up to this Shadow Sneak. If this is a Surf, we are going to survive. But the only question now is, do we have enough HP remaining on Giratina for Tapu Fini to build up to another Surf before this Volt Switch comes through? Bang! There it is. Ampharos closing out the game once again for this team, and definitely was the MVP. The lowest rank of this trio, but number 1 in our hearts. This team did perform pretty well, but the main takeaway is Ampharos is legit. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.